Lesson 1.2, Day 2 is about evaluating algebraic expressions, which means to replace each variable with a given number. With a given number. What is the value of each expression if x is 3 and y is 4? The most important thing to remember is when you're taking out a variable to put in a number, you should use parentheses to alleviate any confusion. So I'm going to put a 3 in wherever I see an x, and a 4 in wherever I see a y. Okay, then from there I'm going to use my order of operations to complete the expression. I don't have any operations happening inside the parentheses, so I can move to the second step, which is exponents. 3 to the second power is 9. I haven't changed this or this, but 4 to the second power is 16. Next in my order of operations would be multiplication and division from left to right. So I'm going to change the 2 times 3 to a 6. And now all I have left is adding, so I can add from left to right. 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 plus 16 is 31. And 31 plus 16 is 47. Next, I have negative 3 plus 4 all to the second power. Positive 3. 7 to the second power is 49. Okay, this would be a good chance for you to pause the screen, pause the video, look at your own notes, and see if you can evaluate these three expressions if x were negative 3 and y was 4, and then come back and work through them with me. Okay, this first one is a really good example of why you want to use parentheses. If I don't put my negative 3 in parentheses, I'll get a completely different answer when I square it. So if I make sure that that's in parentheses, then I know I'm going to have the right answer. Okay, negative 3 to the second power gives us a positive 9. And then inside parentheses, which I should have done first, is just a 1. Order of operations says I should multiply. 2 times 1 is 2, and 9 plus 2 is 11. Right, next, inside the parentheses, we have negative 3 times positive 4, and all of that will be to the third power. A negative 3 times a positive 4 is negative 12 to the third power, which means I have a negative 12 times a negative 12 times a negative 12. Negative times negative times negative keeps it negative. And 12 times 12 times 12 is 1,728. Okay, this last one on this page gives you 4 times negative 3 to the second power minus 3 times negative 3 times positive 4. Following order of operations, I would do my exponents first, giving me 4 times 9 minus a 3 times negative 3 times 4. Okay, well, 4 times 9 is 36 minus 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 times 4, which is negative 36. In the middle here, I have minus a negative, which turns into one big plus, and 36 plus 36 is 72. Moving on to the word problems. This one says we need to write an expression for the spending money that we would have left after depositing 2/5 of our wages into savings. Evaluate the expression for weekly wages of 4, 50, 75, and 100. But first we need to come up with some kind of expression. What are we doing? Okay, so we're making a certain amount of money each week, which is changing, always changing. So our weekly wages is going to be a W. Okay, so we have our weekly wages. And then we are going to take away for savings. So we're going to take away 2/5 of that money. So 2/5 of, if you remember, of was times those wages. Okay, so we need to figure out what the 2/5 of our wages are and then subtract them from our original amount. Okay, so on the next page we have a table that we can use, and they want us to put in $40 for wages, $50, $75, and $100 and try it out. Okay, so in the work section, you're just going to show your work. So we have, in place of the W, our algebraic expression was W minus the quantity 2/5 times W. Okay, so 40 minus 2/5 times 40. Well, 2/5 times 40 happens to be 16, and 40 minus 16 gives us 24. You're left with $24 after you've put 2/5 of your money into savings. Next, we have 50 minus 2/5 times 50. Okay, 2/5 of 50 is 20. And when I subtract 20 from 50, I'm left with $30 of spending money. 75 minus 2/5 times 75. 2/5 times 75 gives us 30, and 75 minus 30 leaves us with $45 spending money. Last but not least, 100 minus 2/5 times 100. 2/5 times 100 gives us 40, and 100 minus 40 is $60 left total spending money. Okay, now using this example, we're going to try this last one. What is an expression for the spending money you have left after depositing 1/4 of your wages into savings? Try that for 40, 60, 80, and 100. So same expression, only this time we're putting 1/4 of our money away instead of 2/5. So we still have our wages minus 1/4 of our wages. Okay, this time for 40, 60, 80, and 100. All right, so to figure out 40, I need to do 40 minus 1/4 times 40. Well, 1/4 of 40 is 10, and 40 minus 10 is 30. 60 minus 1/4 times 60. 1/4 of 60 is 15, and 60 minus 15 is 45. 1/4 of 80 is 20, and 80 minus 20 is $60. 1/4 of 100 is 25, and 100 minus 25 is $75. Last word problem. What is an expression for the distance you travel if you can travel 45 miles per hour? Okay, well, remember the word per means to multiply. So we have 45 miles per hour. And then they're giving us 4 hours, 7 hours, and 10 hours to try out. So if I plug in a 4, a 7, and a 10, that tells me that I would be able to go 180 miles, 315 miles, or 450 miles. Okay, your job for tonight is to finish that 1.2 worksheet and that 1.2 lesson quiz, and all of this will be due by